Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning. Okay, today I will present our collaboration diagram in UUM complaint system. Okay, first slide is manage complaint section. Okay, in collaboration diagram, the first is user will log in to the portal and the portal screen will send user ID to the system. And then the system will validate the user ID into the user database. Then the user database will retrieve user info into the system. Then the system will display the main page to the portal screen. Okay, next the user will click manage complaint button. Then the portal screen will prompt the complaint form. Then the user will key in the form and click submit button. Then portal screen will submit the complaint to the system, and the system will process the complaint and store in complaint database. Then the complaint database will analyze complaint to the admin, and complaint database also verify the complaint to the admin, and admin will notify the complaint into the system, and the system will display feedback to the portal screen. Okay, second is manage this disciplinary section. Okay, in the collaboration diagram, the user will log in to the portal and the portal will send user ID to the system, and the system will validate user ID into the user database, and user database will retrieve user info to the system, and the system will display main page to the portal. Then the user will click manage disciplinary section and click view latest update, and the portal screen will send one option to the system, and the system will prompt the system about the latest update to the discipline database. Then the discipline database will retrieve latest info to the system, and the system will display latest info to the portal screen. Then the user will click view history, so the portal screen will send upon request to the system, and the system will prompt the info about disciplinary history to the display database, and the discipline database will retrieve history info to the system, and the system will display history to the portal screen. Okay, for the third is management system payment. In management system payment, the first thing is user will log in to the portal screen, and the portal screen will send user ID to the system, and the system will validate user ID into the user database, and the user database will retrieve user info into the system. Then the system will display main page to the portal screen. Then the user will click manage payment, and the portal screen will send user find info to the system, and the system will get user find info into the find database, and the find database will retrieve find info to the system. Then the system will display find info to the portal screen, and the portal screen will prompt payment form. Then the user will key in the form, and after the key in, the user will click confirm payment. Then the portal screen will send payment to verify to the system, and the system will send the payment to the bank to process the payment. Then after the payment is processed, the bank will verify the payment and send it to the system, and the system will update find database into the find database, and the find database will get payment notification, and the system will send it back to the portal screen to display notification. Okay, for the part is manage data collection. Okay, in the collaboration diagram, the first thing is user will log in to the portal screen and send user ID to the portal screen will send user ID to the system, and the system will validate user ID into the user database. Then the user database will retrieve user ID to the system, and the system will display main page to the portal. After that, user will click the view info payment. Then the portal screen will find data payment to the system, and the system will get info data payment into the payment database, and then payment database will retrieve data payment to the system, and the system will display info payment. Then user click view info disciplinary, then portal screen will find data disciplinary in the system, and the system will get info data disciplinary from disciplinary database, and disciplinary database will retrieve data disciplinary and display info disciplinary to the portal screen. And user also will click view info complaint. Then the portal screen will find data complaint into the system, and the system will get info data complaint into complaint database. Then complaint database will retrieve data complaint to the system, and the system will display info complaint. Okay, and the last one is manage suggestion section. In collaboration diagram, in manage suggestion section is user will log in the portal, and the portal will send user ID into the system, and the system will validate user ID into user database, and user database will retrieve user info to the system, and the system will display main page into the portal screen. Then user will click suggestion button, then the portal screen will prompt up the suggestion form, and user will give suggestion in the form and click submit button. After that, the portal screen will submit the suggestion into the system, and the system will process the suggestion form into the suggestion database, and the suggestion database will send to the admin to analyze the suggestion. After the admin analyze the suggestion, admin also verify the suggestion and send it to the suggestion database to save it. Then after save, the suggestion database will send to the system to notify the suggestion, and the system will send to the portal to receive feedback to the user. Okay, that's all from me. Okay, thank you.